Right on the lineup, gunfire erupting just feet from the Ben Franklin Bridge in an apparent road rage shooting. And now police need your help to find who pulled the trigger.
Plus, video of a crash that shattered a quiet weekend night for one part of Philly. And this.
4-0 is good, right? Don't let good get in the way of great, right?
Eagles coach Nick Sirianni, after yesterday's Eagles win, we're going to tell you about the brutal battle in the heat of Florida.
Those stories and more on today's edition of The Lineup for Monday, September 29th, 2025. Ooh, hate that. September 29th. It's like almost October.
You don't like it. I know.
It's a little sad. I feel like September just started.
The summer went away so fast, right?
Still very hot.
Exactly.
But, you know.
Hey, everyone. I'm Keith Jones.
And I'm NBC 10's Sheila Watko. Let's get you up to speed with what you need to know today. We're going to start with the search for the person who police say fired at another driver in the middle of the night over the weekend.
The latest case of road rage in the city. NBC 10's Lili Zheng has the story here on the Ben Franklin Bridge, exactly where it happened.
What exactly led up to the shooting on Saturday night is something investigators are still trying to piece together this morning. Here's what they know so far. They say that the victim was trying to get on the Ben Franklin Bridge when someone in another car opened fire, shooting through the victim's car while he was behind the wheel. Here's video of the police response. According to Philadelphia police, they found several bullet holes on the driver's side of the victim's car when they got to the scene. They say the victim, 31 years old, was hit in the thigh. He pulled over the base of the bridge for help and was taken to the hospital. Now, the victim is expected to be okay. When we last spoke with police, they did not have a description of the car or the suspect, so those are other things they're still looking into this morning. Reporting by the Ben Franklin Bridge, Lili Zheng, NBC 10 News.
A new video shows the moments a carjacking suspect crashed and took out an entire row of cars.
It happened this weekend in an intersection in Spring Garden. You can see one of the cars spins out of control, and hits several parked cars and a pair of light poles. This is what it looked like at 19th and Spring Garden Streets Saturday morning. You can see cars banged up and poles toppled. Police say the two men in the carjacked car ran away from the crash scene. Police are still looking for them. The driver they hit is expected to be okay. That's kind of shocking. I'm glad to hear that because that looked brutal.
And all the people having to pick up the pieces now, including this homeowner right there. Not to mention if your car was damaged, you got to go for insurance now. It's like, what
a pain. And you didn't even do anything.
Right,
that's
you just parked your car.
Gosh,
that was it.
That is a headache. Well, Gloucester City police say they arrested a group of teens for a series of car break-ins, and now some of their parents will face charges right along with the teenagers.
Neighbors say the surveillance video shows the group going car to car last week, stealing from the vehicles that were unlocked. Investigators say a 16 and 17-year-old are part of the group, so their parents are charged with failure to supervise their children. They say the third person, a 19-year-old, had outstanding warrants. Temple Health is responding after its nurses and technicians pushed back their plan to strike.
2,600 Temple Health employees now plan to walk off the job Monday, October 13th, unless a contract deal is reached. The previous date was on October 6th. Workers are asking the hospital to improve security and drop plans for benefit cuts. Temple Health said, quote, "We are confident this negotiation process will once again produce a contract that does right by our employees and by Temple Health, and most importantly, allows us to continue to deliver the excellent care that our patients deserve." Trouble is brewing for Starbucks. I like that. That was good. And the producer who wrote that was good. Baristas and their supporters spent part of the weekend rallying with picket lines across the country, including in Philadelphia.
That's right. Here's what the workers want. They want a new union contract with Starbucks. They're demanding better staffing, hours, and take-home pay, along with on-the-job protections for baristas. People at the rally accused the company of stonewalling instead of trying to come up with a fair deal.
A lot of us can't afford rent. A lot of us can't afford the health care that we're being offered at the company.
And the rally comes amid nationwide layoffs and store closures, including 6 locations in Philadelphia. Here's a look at those locations: 2 on Market Street, along with others on North Broad, Chestnut, Spruce, and Walnut Streets. The company says workers will be offered transfers to other locations and severance. All right, let's talk about our boys here. Let's get some Eagles football.
Let's
the Birds undefeated so far this season after beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on their home turf.
The Bucs even had an advantage since they're used to playing in the Florida heat, and it felt like it was 120 degrees on the field. NBC 10's Brenna Weick is in a much cooler spot at the link with that story.
The Birds are one of 2 teams left in the NFL with an undefeated record. Yesterday's game against the Bucs put them up 4-0 on the season so far, and fans are hoping they can keep it up. Now, yesterday, things seemed to be smooth sailing up until the fourth quarter. They had an 18-point lead until the Bucs turned it into a one-possession game. The players have different perspectives on it. Listen to what they had to say.
It's a challenge to not settle for good. It's a challenge to be critical of yourselves as players, as coaches, everybody, and say, how can we be greater than what we are? And so, like I said, it's a humbling game. If you don't have that mentality, then you're really doing a disservice to the game itself.
The Bucs, they're not bums, and winning games down in Tampa is a big deal because we haven't won games. You know, we've been humiliated. We've been on that side of the ball, and so this is a plus for me.
Of course, all fans are hoping the Eagles can keep that undefeated record. They will be back here live at the Link Sunday at 1 o'clock when they play the Broncos. Reporting at Lincoln Financial Field, Brenna Weick, NBC 10 News. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Thank you, Brenna. We've got another social media trend that doctors are warning against.
Yeah, influencers are telling people to sleep with their mouth taped shut, claiming it leads to better sleep and reduces snoring. Actual doctors say,
yes,
don't do this. While breathing through your nose is better, they say taping your mouth shut isn't the way to fix it. You're better off trying things like prescription mouthpieces or getting tested for sleep apnea. Other health concerns like smoking and weight may also affect your sleep.
You know what, Keith? They talk about like ins and outs for 2025. We're almost in 2026, but my out for 2025 is the wellness influencers. They're not doctors.
Yes.
They have no training. They're not nurses. They're not any sort. They're just, and the mouth tape is so wild. This has been around for a while, like on TikTok. I've seen this for a long time now, like probably the last year and a half.
Oh,
but
trending.
One thing they say about it is like the wellness people, I don't want to say girlies because there's men who do it too, but the wellness people, they say, oh, it snatches your jaw. And I'm like, I don't think that like in a good way. They say that because they breathe out their nose, like their jawline looks so snatched and all this stuff. And I'm like, this is crazy. And then doctors are like, don't do that. So like, I'd rather listen to a doctor than like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to snatch your jaw by sleeping with your mouth closed.
Exactly.
It's very,
it seems so obvious when you hear about, hey, don't tape.
Yes, don't tape your mouth. And now they make special lip-shaped tape that they sell online just for this purpose. And I don't know if you've seen, now I'm going down a spiral. You know the morning shed? The wellness people do the morning shed. It's nonsense. It's just like, it's consumerism run rampant.
Go off.
They put on the lip tape and then they put in like a sheet mask, but they sleep in it overnight, which like doesn't really do anything. And then they wrap this thing around their head to like, again, snatch their jaw.
Oh my goodness.
And it's just, and then in the morning they take it off and they're like, my morning shed.
Oh, it's
And it's like,
funny.
none of that did anything, but you just like made so many disposable things that are getting thrown out and you just spent so much money. And the doctors are like, this doesn't actually do anything.
You should see the look Marvin just
that's my TED Talk on this Monday morning.
Go off.
Wellness with Watko.
There you go. I like it.
Anti-wellness with Watko.
Hey, a lot of us know to think twice when it comes to what to eat or drink when you're on a plane.
Yes, but some stuff might not be so obvious. So one actual health expert, came up with a list of things you should stay away from Travel and Leisure magazine. Tap water is one of them because the water contained on planes is known to harbor, I didn't know this, E. coli bacteria that can make you sick, to say the least. Caffeine is another one because it can dehydrate you and you might not feel so well by the time you land. Red meat is bad because it takes longer to digest, which can make you gassy. A few others are beans, leafy greens like kale and broccoli also make you gassy. Important note to make about the tap water, because they serve water from bottles, but the coffee and the tea are made with tap water on the plane. So that you don't want to order and that goes with the caffeine, but don't order the coffee or the tea.
Don't order anything. That's what it sounds like.
I know.
Anything from a can or a bottle is probably the
smartest thing. I bring my own snacks
thing.
usually. No, I do. When they come around with that airplane meal, I do indulge.
See, you know what's great? Now with a 1-year-old, we got snacks on snacks packed. Holly, my wife comes, we went on that one flight. Holly had like a whole pound of food.
I would pay that extra fee to sit next to Holly.
That's right. Well, then you got to sit next to a 1-year-old
and then
too.
Also, that's true. That's true.
So
You win some, you lose some.
That's right.
Well, speaking of coffee, you don't want to drink it on the planes, but you do want to drink it Maybe today, because it is National
Sure.
Coffee Day, Keith.
That's
you got
right.
some down here.
I got some tea.
I have. Oh, you have some tea, and
Yeah,
I
we
have a
pretended
water
on
bottle,
TV
so we're not
earlier.
that excited
Yeah.
about this, but that's okay. Several national chains are celebrating National Coffee Day with freebies and special deals.
Yep. Dunkin' offering customers a free medium hot or iced coffee when they use the Dunkin' app. Joe Jonas teamed up with Krispy Kreme to give fans a free cup of Joe and a donut. And Starbucks lovers, they can get $100 extra stars when they buy a coffee through the Starbucks app. That's enough to get your next cup for free.
All right.
The outlier of the whole story was Joe Jonas stepping up with Krispy Kreme.
With a cup of Joe.
Is it because of his name?
It must be.
Generous guy.
Yes. All right. A Jersey boy.
Jersey boy, passionate about his coffee. Apparently.
Yes, apparently very passionate about his coffee.
There's got to be some charitable arm to this, right?
I would
For him to
assume
also
there
do
is.
this?
Yes, I love a Jonas brother. What can I say?
Yeah, no, good for
Always
him.
been
This
a
is
fan.
great.
Yeah, cup of
Nothing
Joe.
but positive.
Nothing but positive. That's great. And yeah, you know what? The Jonas Brothers, whenever they come and perform in Camden, they call it Jersey-Delphia.
Oh, that's
Because like
great.
a lot of bands come through and they call it Philly, and it's
Yeah.
not Philly, but they're Jersey boys, so they
I
love
like
to be like,
that.
it's Jersey-Delphia.
That's good,
So
that's
yeah,
good.
kind of fun. We love Joe Jonas.
Joe Jonas, stand over here.
Joe Jonas, big Joe Jonas stan. Joe, if you're watching, hello. Well, that just rambling.
You're the
That
best.
does it for
Don't
today's
change.
edition of The Lineup.
The incomparable Sheila Watko. Love hosting this with you. I'm Keith Jones. You can get NBC 10 News updates right here on the NBC 10 app and catch us weekday mornings from 5 to 7 a.m. Watch her go off. Have a great day.